Hello again, my friends. Well, welcome back for another story time with Mrs. Burkhart. Today, our story is by an author that I think you will recognize. I have a book called Hedgie's Surprise by Jan Brett. Do you remember reading some Jan Brett books in class? What were some of the ones that you liked? You can pause the video and talk to somebody right now and tell them what stories you enjoyed. Did you remember the hat, or the mitten, or gingerbread baby? We read a lot of these in December and January, and I saved this one for springtime. This one is called Hedgie's Surprise by Jan Brett, and you can already see what animals will be in this book. What characters will we see? Will we see a chicken? Will we see a hedgehog? Which character do you think is named Hedgie? Do you remember seeing Hedgie in another book? Hedgie's Surprise by Jan Brett. And already I can see there are some other characters in this story. On the cover we saw a chicken and a hedgehog. And now we see two more characters. Let's see what happens. Once there was a speckled hen who laid an egg every day, only to have it taken by a little tomtin every morning. It all started because the tomtin got tired of porridge for breakfast. I bet you recognize the tomtin from another story. Do you remember this tomtin was very mischievous? So this tomtin got tired of porridge for breakfast and started to take the eggs from the hen each morning. Each morning the rooster crowed as the sun came up, and Henny knew the tomtin was on his way. Did you hear the name of the hen? What was the name of the hen? Tell it to me. Was it Hedgie or Henny? Henny, that's right. Henny is the hen. Well, Henny knew the tomtin was on his way, and so did the little hedgehog who lived nearby. The tomtin always called out to her, "Henny, have you got a little yummy for my hungry, hungry tummy?" And here comes the tomtin into the hen house. And the tomtin climbed into the hen house, took Henny's warm, smooth egg, and ran off to cook it in his little kettle, sprinkle it with salt, and gobble it down. Then he fell fast asleep in the hayloft until evening. Henny didn't like the tomtin taking her eggs, but she put up with it until one morning when she saw Goosey sail forth smiling and bowing with a stream of pipping goslings following her. Goslings, we've heard ducklings as baby ducks, but now we have a mommy goose with her babies, and they're called goslings. Can you say gosling? Let's see how many she has. 1, 2, 3, 4 goslings. Does Henny have any chicks? No, her eggs can't grow into chicks because somebody keeps taking them. Who's taking Henny's eggs? "Oh my," Henny clucked. "Where did all those little ones come from?" "My eggs are hatching," crooned Goosey. "Here comes the last one now." From that moment on, Henny wanted a brood of peeping chicks of her own. But how could she stop the tomtin from taking her eggs? Well, we just heard a new word. A group of babies, a group of goslings, or a group of chicks is called a brood. Can you say brood? The next morning when the tomtin poked his head in, Henny tried. She clucked loudly and pecked. She flew at him, but nothing stopped that hungry tomtin from taking her egg again. Look at that grin on his face. He's pretty naughty. Well, so far we've seen a Tomten, we've seen Henny, but have we seen the hedgehog yet? Remember, Jan Brett gives us some clues. So if you look close, we have the main picture here, but we have pictures on the side. Is she giving us a clue to what's coming next? I see a hedgehog under a barrel. And look at that. Now we see the barrel and we see the hedgehog. No eggs, no chicks, no peeping babies. Henny wailed so loudly she woke up the little hedgehog. Her tears were pouring down on top of him. Puffa, puffa, stick, stick, Hedgie went as he crawled out to talk to her. Poor Henny. I've been watching the Tomten take your eggs. I'll help you trick him into stopping. So now Hedgie and Henny are going to work together to stop the Tomten and take a look at him sleeping. We heard earlier he's sleeping in the, do you remember? Let's say it. He's sleeping in the hay loft. That's right. Good job. The next morning when the rooster crowed, there was the Tomten. Henny, have you got a little yummy for my nearly empty tummy? Henny and Hedgie were ready. I wonder what they could be doing to trick the Tomten. Let's take a minute and just think, what could their trick be? You can pause the video and tell somebody next to you, or your stuffed animal, or your pet, what would the trick be? Thank you for sharing. All right, Henny and Hedgie are ready. The Tomten reached for an egg and pulled out an acorn. Said the Tomten. What's this? And off he went to try it. The acorn was tasty, but it didn't fill him up, and he woke in the middle of the afternoon very grumpy. The next time the Tomten arrived looking for an egg, he found a bright red strawberry. It looked bigger than the acorn, so he ran off to cook it. The strawberry was jammy and sweet, but it only filled up the Tomten a little more than the acorn had. And he woke up early. Oh, is this trick working out? The Tomten keeps coming back. What could they do to make sure he doesn't come back? The sun had just come up when the Tomten was at the hen house again. His stomach was roaring with hunger. Pushing Henny aside, he grabbed for an egg only to find a delicious-smelling mushroom. He raced off to cook it, and as scrumptious as it was, he woke up with his little tummy growling for more. He's still hungry. He's still coming back because he's still hungry. What do you think Henny and Hedgie could do to make sure he doesn't come back? Why don't you pause this and tell somebody next to you? What could they do? Thank you for sharing. Cock-a-doodle! The Tomten rushed in even before the rooster finished crowing. Henny, have you got something for my hollow, hollow tummy? This time he found a smooth, round potato, even bigger than an egg. He cooked it quickly, swallowed it down, and went back to his hayloft. But he woke up at sunset, only half full. The Tomten had had enough. Henny, he shouted, tomorrow I want an egg for breakfast and nothing else. If I don't find one, I'll eat you up instead. Oh boy. Henny was scared. The Tomten had been tricked by an acorn, a strawberry, a mushroom, and a potato. How could they fool him again? Don't worry, Henny, Hedgie told her. Now it's time for my surprise. And he whispered in her ear. All night, Henny waited on her nest and Hedgie on his. And as soon as it began to get light, Hedgie gently covered his nest with straw and got ready for a surprise. Well, look at that picture. What is that surprise going to be? Is there an egg under Henny? Or is there a Hedgie under Henny? Do you think the Tomten's going to want to grab Hedgie? Henny and Hedgie could hear that Tomten's stomach rumbling like thunder a mile away. He burst into the hen house, pushed Henny aside, and grabbed. And what do you think he said when he grabbed? Ow, he howled. Ow, ow. Puffa, puffa, stick, stick. He had clutched Hedgie, all closed up in a tight round ball of needle-sharp prickles. Do you think he's going to enjoy that meal, or do you think he'll run away? Henny and Hedgie listened as the Tomten ran home, yowling. Thank you, Hedgie, Henny said, looking at her dear friend. I'm sure that Tomten won't be back here again for breakfast. But what I can't figure out is, where have you hidden my eggs? So each time Henny placed some food in her nest, the eggs had to go somewhere. Do you see in the background? Hedgie had been collecting her eggs. And what are those eggs going to turn into? Do you remember the word we learned? If you remember, you can tell somebody. Did you say a brood of chicks? And there they are. Just then Henny heard a little peep and then another coming from Hedgie's nest. She looked over and saw the straw begin to move. 5 baby chicks peeked out of their shells and fluffed up their down. As Henny settled down with her babies, nestled around her, the Tomten's mother was in the hayloft, making breakfast for her hungry Tomten. And what is she making? She's making porridge. He's finally going to eat the breakfast his mother made him. That would be a good choice. And who kept these eggs warm? The friend Hedgie, that's right. And now Henny has a brood of chicks, and she can proudly walk around the farm. Hedgie, 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 you are full of surprises, Henny cried, and she led her baby chicks out into the sunshine. But the little Tomten didn't hear a word. He was sound asleep, his tummy full of tasty porridge. All right, well, hopefully today you'll get a chance to look at some more videos and books about chicks. We have a lot to learn this spring about spring animals. Yesterday we talked about ducklings. Today we talked about chicks. And tomorrow we will learn a little bit about a spider. So I hope you come back and watch another video and read a book with me. Thanks, friends. I'll see you soon.